Happy Monday. We're going to take up another parable this week. These are short, pithy stories told by Jesus that smuggle spiritual truth under our radar. There are lots of them in the Bible. Jesus is the master at telling parables. I suspect more than a few are misunderstood, and I suspect that the parable of the Good Samaritan is often misunderstood. Many people hear it and they think, well, it's a story about needing to take care of the poor and those that are, struggling. Sure, yes, that's a good thing, but there's a lot more going on in this parable than that. And so today, just going to walk through the setup. So it's Luke chapter 10, beginning with verse 25. On one occasion, an expert in the law stood up to test Jesus. Do note that. Teacher, he asked, what must I do to inherit eternal life? So, weird way to state the question, by the way. You would think he would say, what must I do to get eternal life, to earn eternal life? Inherit sort of implies something getting passed down to you. So that's a little bit weird, but whatever. Jesus responds with a question, which is what he tends to do. When asked a question, he asks a different question. What is written in the law? How do you read it? And the man, this rich young, this teacher of the law says, well, love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your strength, and with all your mind, and love your neighbor as yourself. So what he's doing here is summarizing the sort of 600 Old Testament laws. This is a good answer. It's found in the book of Leviticus. And so Jesus responds, verse 28. You've answered correctly. Do this and you will live. Now, the laugh track is not playing, so you might miss this. Okay. So be 100% perfect 100% of the time, and you're good. Do this and you will live. But he wanted to justify himself, so he asked Jesus, and who is my neighbor? Because you got to understand, so Jesus says this, and he's, be perfect and everything will be fine, and we'll see how that works for you. But there's a little bit of a laugh track going on because we cannot be perfect, right? I mean, we're big enough to admit that. We cannot be perfect. Now, maybe this young man thought he was perfect. He's a Pharisee. We know that that Pharisees are often sort of self-righteous and blind. But he doesn't like getting laughed at. He doesn't like the way Jesus has sort of boxed him into a corner. So he comes out swinging, verse 29. He's not going to give up. And he says, but who is my neighbor? Which is a famous question in the way this whole thing would be sidetracked. And hold on to that because we're going to come back to it tomorrow, and there's really surprising and insightful things to come. Have a good day.